Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something really powerful. The idea that your own home, the place you know and love, can actually become your best partner in staying healthy and independent for years to come. We're going to look at our living spaces in a whole new light, not just as a roof over our heads, but as a key part of our long-term wellness. So, let's dive in.
You know, when we talk about aging at home, it often starts from a place of worry, and that's completely understandable. This quote, it really gets to the heart of that fear. It shows how sudden and heartbreaking things can be. One minute, everything seems fine, and the next, a simple fall changes a family's life forever. It's a tough reminder of what's at stake, and it's exactly why being proactive is just so incredibly important.
But what if we could flip that script? What if instead of worrying about what might happen, we could take control? What if we could actually turn our homes into spaces that actively support us and keep us safe? Well, that's what we're going to explore today. How to move from concern to confidence.
So here's our plan for today. First, we'll talk about why this is so critical right now. Then we're going to get really practical and do a room-by-room safety check. After that, we'll cover smart ways to update your home, look at some helpful technology, talk about building your support team, and finally, we'll touch on planning for the future.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, why this matters now. This is all about making that mental shift, moving away from just reacting to problems, and instead creating a plan that puts you in the driver's seat.
So here's maybe the most important takeaway of our whole conversation. Thinking about making your home safer isn't a sign that you're getting old or slowing down. Not at all. It's actually a forward-thinking health strategy. It's just like eating right or getting some exercise. Making these changes is a form of preventative care. It's all about stopping injuries before they happen and staying independent for as long as possible.
Okay, now for section 2. It's time to put on our detective hats and get practical. We're going to walk through your home, room by room, and learn how to spot those little hazards before they ever become a big problem.
Let's start in the kitchen. First thing, look at the floor right in front of the sink. A simple non-slip mat there can make a huge difference if the floor gets wet. Next, think about your cabinets. Are the dishes and glasses you use every single day down on shelves you can easily reach? That way, you're not tempted to grab a wobbly step stool. Lighting is also key. Some lights under the cabinets can really brighten things up. And finally, just take a quick peek at your stove. Are those dials easy to read without squinting?
Now onto the bathroom, and this is a big one because a lot of falls happen here. The number one thing you can do is install sturdy grab bars, and I mean properly secured ones, not towel racks. Put them in the shower and right next to the toilet. A shower seat can also be a game changer for comfort and safety. And of course, non-slip mats are a must, both inside the tub and on the floor outside. Oh, and one other smart idea, an anti-scald device on your faucets so the water never gets dangerously hot by accident.
Now, if you're wondering, do these little changes really matter that much? Well, listen to this. A major study found that when a professional, an occupational therapist, helps guide these home changes, the number of falls drops by a whopping 39%. That's not just a number, that's proof that these simple fixes absolutely work.
Okay, so you've done your audit, you've spotted some things to fix. What's next? Well, in section 3, we're talking all about how to actually make those changes happen. From the small stuff you can do this weekend to bigger projects that set you up for the future.
A big question is always, when can I do it myself versus when should I call a pro? And it's a great question. Simple things like putting some non-slip tape on your steps or just changing light bulbs to brighter ones, that's perfect for a DIY project. But for anything structural, you really need to bring in a professional. Especially for those grab bars we talked about. They have to be anchored into the studs in the wall to be safe. A great person to look for is a certified aging-in-place specialist, or CAPS for short. They're trained for exactly this kind of work.
Let me tell you a quick story that shows how powerful a tiny change can be. Think about a dark staircase. That's a real hazard at night, right? Well, the fix wasn't some huge, expensive renovation. It was just installing a few bright, motion-activated night lights. It cost next to nothing, but the result was a massive boost in safety and, just as important, the confidence to go up and down the stairs without being afraid.
And that brings us to what's really the smartest approach of all. Something called universal design. All this means is building homes that are easy for everyone to use, no matter their age or ability, right from the get-go. We're talking wider doorways, no steps to get inside, lever handles on doors instead of knobs. And the financial part of this is just wow. To go back and change a house later can cost almost 20% of its value. But to build these features in from the start, It's just over 1%. It's a no-brainer. All right, let's switch gears in Section 4 and talk about technology. Because nowadays, smart devices can add a really powerful extra layer of safety and give both you and your family some serious peace of mind.
There are so many helpful gadgets out there. You've probably seen the personal emergency response buttons. Some newer ones can even detect a fall automatically and call for help. You can get smart lights that you control with your voice so you never have to walk into a dark room. Smart smoke detectors can send an alert right to a family member's phone. And of course, video doorbells are fantastic for security.
So let's just quickly talk about what a PERS, or Personal Emergency Response System, really is. It's usually a small pendant you wear or a wristband with a button on it. If anything happens, you fall, you feel sick, anything at all where you need help, you just push that button. It connects you to someone who can send help right away. It's an instant lifeline, and that peace of mind is priceless. And this is so important, I have to share this with you. One big study found that in 80% of falls, these devices weren't even used. And that tells us something really crucial. The technology is great, but it only works if you actually wear it, if you're comfortable using it, and if you know that it is always okay to push that button and ask for help, even if you're not sure it's a real emergency. Which brings us perfectly to our next topic in Section 5. A safe home is the foundation, absolutely. But it's the people, your friends, your family, your community, who build the real safety net around you. The most important thing to remember is that you don't have to do any of this alone.
Think of it like building your personal team. Of course, it starts with family and friends who can check in, but it might also include hiring some in-home help for a few hours a week. An occupational therapist, an OT, can give you a professional assessment. We've talked about the CAPS pros who can do the actual modifications. And please, look up your local area agency on aging. It's an amazing resource that can connect you to all sorts of local programs.
And please remember, building this network isn't just for the person who's aging at home. It's also for the caregivers. When everyone knows their role and help is available, it eases so much stress and prevents burnout. It just makes sure the whole family is on the same page, working together toward that one big goal: staying safe and independent at home. Okay, for our final section, we're going to zoom out a little bit. Because true peace of mind doesn't just come from grab bars and nightlights. It comes from having a plan for the other big parts of life, like your legal and financial wishes and your transportation needs.
Honestly, getting these documents in order is one of the kindest things you can do for your family. A power of attorney for healthcare lets a person you trust make medical decisions for you if you can't. The one for finances does the same thing for your money. And an advance directive, sometimes called a living will, makes your wishes for end-of-life care crystal clear. It takes all the guesswork and stress away from your loved ones when times are tough. And let's talk about something that can be hard to think about but is so important: transportation. For many of us, there will come a time when driving just isn't the safest choice anymore. The trick is to have a plan in place before that day comes. Start now. Look up what senior transportation is available in your town. Maybe download a ride-sharing app and try it out. Check the bus routes. Having a plan means you can stay connected to the people and places you love.
We've covered a lot today, I know, but it all boils down to taking that first small step. So I want to leave you with this one question. What is one small thing, just one little change you can make this week to turn your home into a safer partner in your health? Maybe it's buying that non-slip bath mat, or maybe it's just looking up the phone number for your local area agency on aging. Whatever it is, that one small action is how you start turning concern into confidence.